The bus rattles a bit as it trundles down the street, the plastic hanging straps swaying gently overhead. Oh, public transportation, you're always there for me. I can always count on a ride from you, especially when meeting up with a... Oh, okay, I was kind of curious who are we meeting. I can always count on a ride from you, especially when meeting up with a cute, purple-haired girl at the bookstore. Ever since I got closer to Yuri, I've really been speeding through books. Having someone to read with definitely helps in making sure I finish the books, but it also hasn't felt like a chore in a while. Suddenly the bus lets out a high-pitched whine as it eases into the bus stop. Here's where I get off. Not too far away from the bookstore now. There it is. And there's Yuri. I wave at her, although she doesn't see me. She's fidgeting with her hair and glancing around, presumably looking for me. After a moment we make eye contact, she immediately smiles. She smiles slightly and stands up straighter. Hi, Myras. Hey, Yuri. Did I keep you waiting? Oh no, I arrived only a moment ago. Thanks for inviting me out, by the way. Oh, Yuri invited us this time. Cool. No problem. I was going to buy something here anyway. So, well, let's head in then, shall we? Let's. It's subtle, but I smell the scent of lavender and a touch of jasmine oil as she brushes past me. Once inside, that scent blends in nicely with the traces of old paper and ink emanating from the store. There's a sense of calm that envelops us in the moment. We stepped inside, bolstered by the quiet, flowing sounds of flipping pages. Plastic covers gleam from the bookshelves as we pass by, and with each step and every step inside Yuri seems to walk with a little more energy. I haven't been here in a while now. Really? When was the last time you were here? I believe it was roughly a month ago on a Sunday. Why haven't you visited more then? You know, it's been busy. I shouldn't be spending so much money on books too. She sighs quietly and runs her fingers over the spines of a nearby row of books. I've been trying to read books online instead to save money, but being able to physically flip through pages feels so much better. That's true. It's as if I just need something tangible in my hands. Yeah, I think I can understand that feeling. It's definitely easier to get distracted if you're reading something online. There are a lot of books I haven't seen before in this aisle. One novel with a particularly ornately designed cover catches my eye. The Awakening? This looks like one of those books considered classic literature. Yuri notices me eyeing it. Ooh, are you curious about some of the novels here? I don't know. Maybe that one over there. Why? Have you read a lot of books in this section? She pulls the copy of The Awakening out of the shelf. H. Hawkins' The Awakening. I did read this in middle school. To be honest, I don't recall too much about the plot. Hold on. Let me refresh my memory with the summary on the back cover. Her eyes quickly filled over the words on the back, and a moment later Yuri looks up at me. Yuri looks up with a smile. Ah, yes. It's all coming back to me. This was quite the enjoyable read from what I remember. So what's it about? Well, it's considered a milestone of early feminist literature due to its social commentary and in-depth look into the main character's psyche. The novel is about a married woman in the late 19th century of New Orleans who struggles to find a place for herself in the restrictive society she lives in. Honestly speaking, I believe I liked the book so much because I could relate to some of the themes. I guess... Can you read it with you, Yuri? Oh? Like what? Well, some of the most salient themes are solitude, and the impact of social constraints and expectations. It's easy to find yourself falling into a solitary lifestyle without societal support. In a way, detaching yourself from society can feel empowering, in that you can take control over your life away from outside influence. But it can also be quite lonely. That's true. I can see how the theme would resonate with Yuri so deeply. She must have been a loner even in middle school. I think we're going to be even more in depth sooner or later. The societal expectations present in the era's version of the American South all work to repress the main character's true desires and needs. Especially when the main character is a married woman who has to struggle with gender roles too. So you can relate some of the expectations in the book society to our society then? Of course. Modern day society isn't as progressive as Victorian era society. But still, there will always be social norms that people would be hard pressed to disobey. I kinda choked there. At any rate, Japanese society is rather restrictive in comparison to other countries. You've got that right. When I was a kid, I really wanted to move to America because of how freeing it seemed. Country of rock and roll, right? I don't know about that, but it's definitely a more individualistic culture. Anyway, The Awakening is a beautifully written book. I'd recommend it if you wanted to read a critique of society, although the ending is quite depressing. Was that a spoiler? Nah, you're good. You just said what to expect when I read it. If you're gonna recommend the book this passionately, then I guess I've gotta give it a shot. I take a copy of the novel from Yuri and turn it over in my hands. I'll be looking forward to hearing what you think about it. We continue strolling around the bookstore some more, this time looking for a book for Yuri. She pauses at a display and flips through a paperback book with a black cover. What's that book? Battle Royale. I'm sure you've heard it before. Yeah, I actually read a bit of it before. I never finished it though, haha. Speaking of rock and roll in America, the main character in it is pretty obsessed with the US. Although I'm not guessing that you know that already. Well, I'm embarrassed to admit that I've never gotten into reading it before. Well, this is our chance for like a date idea. I read my book, you read your book, and we share what we think about. There are just too many books I need to read. How about we read? Yes, there we go. How about we read it together then? I'd like that. She smiles shyly, her eyes twinkling behind her bangs. Aww. And with that, we leave for the front counter to purchase our books. The sun's blindingly bright outside, which contrasts against the chilly nature of the air. Would you like to get something to eat? Yes! Sure, there's a bakery nearby that's pretty good. They even serve tea. Last time I went there, I had black tea. Ooh, that sounds lovely. Feel free to lead the way. Within a few minutes, we're standing in front of the bakery. Through the glass storefront, we can see rows upon rows of pastries and breads. Here we are again. As we enter, a wave of warm air carrying the scent of sweets and teas wash over us. It smells wonderful in here. If you weren't hungry before, you'd definitely be hungry now. Plus, they even have oolong tea here. Really? I suppose I know what I'll be getting. I think I'll have a cup as well. As we approach the counter to order our drinks, the brownies on display once again catch my eye. Buy it this time. You know what? I think I'll have a brownie too. I grab a tray and a pair of tongs to choose my own pastries. Yuri follows behind, hastily grabbing a tray of her own. Are you getting anything else to eat? I think I'll have a small slice of vanilla cake. By the time we finish grabbing our food, the line's cleared up. Hi, would that be all for you? I'll have some oolong tea as well as this brownie. The cashier quickly rings me up, while another worker bustles away in the background to prepare the tea. And your order, miss? Yuri sets her tray down on the counter with a clatter. Her voice is barely audible. Yes, I'll have an oolong tea and a slice of vanilla cake. Excuse me, could you repeat that? I'll have the oolong. Her voice wavers as red creeps over her face. and she glances desperately between me and the cashier. Should I do something? Oh my goodness, this is a choice? God! Well, she's clearly going to choke, and I think discussing this kind of problem like her talking in public is better off in private, so I'll do it for her. I might as well spare her the trouble and just order for her. After all, I know what she wants anyway. She'll have the oolong tea and this slice of vanilla cake. Is that okay with you? Yuri nods her head. Alright, we'll have your teas done in just a minute. As the cashier said, it only takes about a minute or so until our teas are ready. Yuri avoids eye contact as we pick up our cups of tea. With our food in hand, we make our way over to some tables to sit down at. As we walk, she keeps her head ducked down and her eyes steadily trained on the floor. Hey Yuri? Yes. Are you alright? This is the perfect time to talk about that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm fine. It's just that she starts playing with her hair, stroking it quickly. Don't worry about what happened. If you'd like, when I'm around, I can help you with all that stuff. That would be nice. She breathes a sigh of relief. Everyone has their own thing that they're good at. They're a lot more book smart than me, and they just happen to be more used to talking to people. We balance out in that way. We balance out in a way, sorry. Yeah, I suppose you're right. But are we going to get like a part in this story where we're going to help Yuri develop her confidence? I think so. Thank you. Don't mention it. She settled down at our table. We finally dig into our respective sweets. The inside of my brownie is moist and thick, the sweetness not too overwhelming. I look around while saving my bite, chewing at a slow pace. Although the streets are still dotted with people here and there, the foot traffic has started to lighten up. When I look back at Yuri, I catch her looking at me, her eyes filled with curiosity. Do you want a taste of my brownie? Once she realizes that she's been caught staring, she sheepishly turns red in an admission of guilt. I'm sorry, Midas, I didn't mean to. Relax, it's nothing to apologize for. Embarrassed, she glances away from me. Somehow I get the feeling that she wants to say something, but she's too shy to say it. As I muse over Yuri's thoughts, I pop another piece of brownie in my mouth. How's the cake, Yuri? Oh, it's a bit sweet but very light. I'm assuming you're enjoying your brownie, judging by the smile on your face. She covers her mouth with a hand as she giggles. We're smiling silly again. Okay, you caught me. The brownie's really good. I see. I shiver as I take a sip of my oolong tea. Man, the sweetness of the brownie really makes the tea that much more bitter. Maybe I shouldn't have ordered it. Yuri sneaks several more looks at me as I continue. Why are you judging me, Yuri? Does she want something? What's up? Nothing. But as she says that, I notice that she's not looking at me. Exactly. Yep, she wants some brownies. Oh, you want to try some of my brownie? It's okay. I mean, you fed me some of your bento, so I guess it's fair. Once again, she blushes as she speaks. It's really pretty cute how flustered she can get. Flustered girls are cute. Come on, I insist. Before she can protest, I steal her fork and spear a piece of my brownie through it. Very good. We're very assertive. Here you go. Make sure you eat it while it's still warm. Thank you, Oh, we're going to feed her too. See? Everything's all fair. You really didn't have to. Hey, sharing is caring, right? She giggles a bit as she hastily nibbles on the brownie chunk. Man, her eyes are really lighting up. Honestly, I didn't really expect Yuri to have a sweet tooth. I mean, she loves tea, so a sweet tooth is the last thing I would think about her. Pretty good, huh? It's very sweet, but the inclusion of dark chocolate cuts through the sweetness a bit. We continue enjoying the food at each other's company, slowly passing the day away. After a while, she smiles, tracing the rim of her teacup with a finger. I really enjoyed our time here today, Midas. This is a lovely little bakery as well. I'll have to visit it on my own time. Ah, thank Natsuki and Sayuri for introducing me to this place. Oh, you came here together with them? Nah, I just happened to see them eating here a while back. Ah, I see. But yeah, you should definitely come back here again sometime. Yes, that would be nice. With our food finished, we get up and throw away our trash. Hey, you wanna catch the bus? I think Munch will be coming around soon. That sounds like a good idea. We settled down on the bus stop's bench, sitting together, but not too close. I nervously tapped my fingers on my knee. Looks like I've run out of things to say. But surprisingly, Yuri saves the day by speaking up. What do you want, Yuri? Today has gone much faster than I expected. It seems like only an hour ago that I left the house for the bookstore. She shifts the books in her bag and smiles down at them. I guess that means it was pretty fun then. I suppose so. Peering down the road for a moment, I spot a glaring set of headlights slowly growing closer. Hey, looks like the bus is here. It stops with a low hiss, and I motion for Yuri to get on ahead of me. Fortunately, it doesn't look too crowded. There should be plenty of seats for us to sit together. Yeah. Oh no. Yuri subtly stumbles on the steps leading into the bus, falling onto her hands and knees and causing her books to tumble out of her bag. I futilely reach out to grab her, but I'm not close enough to reach her. Oh no! She fell off the bus! A few people peep up curiously to look for the source of the commotion. Yuri quickly stands, her face flushed. As she scrambles to shove books back into her bag, I reach down to help her. Here, let me help you. Are you okay, Yuri? I'm fine. With the last of her books back in her bag, we finally enter the bus. Yuri speeds over to the first seat she sees and sits down, keeping her head down as if avoiding the stares of the other passengers. She adamantly continues to stare out the window as I slide in the seat next after her. You sure you're alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Despite her words, I notice a wince breaking through her controlled expression. Yuri, let me see your hands. Why? Come on, just humor me for a moment. How is that supposed to be funny? She reluctantly turns her hands over. They're red from the impact, and they don't look particularly hurt. At least it's not scarred, which means you just scrape your knees. She's wearing black leggings as usual, so her knees are covered up, but that material isn't very thick. A little bit. Do you want me to take a look at it? No! We're in a public transportation vehicle. You're not supposed to do that. She's angry. Her sudden outburst startles me a bit. Sorry. I just meant that it's fine. I'll just check it when I get home and bandage it as needed. Alright, if you're sure. Sorry. What for? She bites her lip and twists her bag's handle around in her hands. For making you worry. You've already done so much for me today and... Well, I feel very relatable to Yuri. Oh my goodness. Well, I just feel guilty. Yuri, you have nothing to feel guilty about. Worrying is what friends do, right? And that goes for everything else that happened today. As your friend, I like helping you out when I can. I get it. Thank you, Midas. Of course. This has been so embarrassing. You just had an unlucky day is all. Try not to worry about it too much. Easier said than done. Yuri mutters this last statement to herself, probably intending for me to miss it. The conversation fades after this, leaving us simply watching the scenery blur by outside. Although we're not talking, it feels right, just sitting here together like this. After a while though, I decide to break the silence. It's nice to physically be with Yuri, and I want to continue getting to know her better too. By the way, it seems like my exams are coming up. It seems like we've been talking about them more and more lately. Sorry, we can talk about something else if you want. No, it's only natural that it'll come up in the conversation. After all, we are students. Yeah, I think I've just been thinking about them more and more because I think things will go well for me this time. Hmm? What do you mean by that? Well, I guess you could say that I didn't like to think about them before. They're such a drag, you know? And I'd rather just distract myself and study. Haha. Midas. It's fine now though. I recently gotten a lot better with concentrating and studying and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure that reading more has definitely played a role in that. Yuri tilts her head and smiles. Ah! Girl's head tilting and smiling. Ah, what's more cuter than that? Really? That's wonderful. Yeah, I'm glad you helped me get into reading. So, thank you for that. My heart rate bumps up a bit as Yuri smiles wildly at me. Aww. A second later, she seems to catch herself as it puts on a more demure expression. I mean, I'm just glad that you're enjoying literature now. She starts playing with her own hair, seemingly distracting herself from her own thoughts and feelings. But I'm surprised that you couldn't concentrate before this. Huh? I meant... never mind. What is it? Well, we seem to be able to concentrate on video games and manga just fine. Well, that's because they're my interests. I love... sorry for being so blunt. You're fine. I'll have to admit that that's true. But it doesn't count. Concentrating on hobbies is totally different from doing something you dislike. That's true. Speaking of video games and manga, I should probably spend more time on studying, haha. Of course we'll still hang out in the literature club, but... Yuri suddenly stands up, her posture much stiffer than it had been just a second ago. Sorry, but did I do something wrong? What? I don't really... I'm sorry, Midas, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just did it again. I'm sorry. You're totally fine. And you didn't do anything wrong either. So don't apologize for anything. I'm not sure what you think you did though. But you just said that you didn't want to spend any time together in the club anymore. What do you mean? I just meant that we should probably start studying more since exams are coming up. I still definitely want to hang out at school. And after the exams are over, I want to do a lot more stuff with you. Aww. But I just not be able... sorry. But I just might not be able to hang out as often until then. So you see, everything's alright. Well, except for the part about taking exams. I see. I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions. Please don't apologize. It's alright. What matters is that we're all good now, right? I suppose so. I'm just not used to people being so nice to me. Or to people actually wanting to be around me. That was so embarrassing to say. She looks out the window at the darkening sky, although I can still see her crimson cheeks reflected in the glass. Yuri. I'm not quite sure what to say, but I definitely know what I feel, a crushing wave of sympathy for her. I don't know everything about what you've been through, but I do want you to know. But I do know that I want to be there for you. So you better get used to people being nice to you. The violet-haired girl turns towards me a bit, allowing a small smile to peek out at me. Thank you. As we approach Yuri's stop, we sit in silence again for a bit. Midas? Are you okay? She looks up at me with deep sadness in her soft, purple eyes. Can you... What? Can you promise me something? Of course. What is it? What is it really? Oh my goodness. No matter what happens, will you keep being my friend? Yes. Oh my goodness, yes, Yuri. Without a doubt, Yuri. There's no question about it. I'm getting outcast vibes. Oh my goodness, it's so good. A smile breaks through her somber expression as her eyes glisten under the bus's fluorescent lights. Okay. Also about the topic we were discussing earlier. Well... Oh, yes! Definitely, Yuri! Why don't we study together? That's actually a really good idea. You can come over to my house after school and we can study together. Well, I don't know how much I can help you, but I'd certainly benefit from your help. Yuri nods and opens her mouth to speak but pauses when she realizes that the bus is at her Aww. Looks like I'm getting off here then. I'll message you the details later. Details about what? I get up to let her through. Once in the aisle, she steps towards the exit but then stops to turn back at me. Goodbye, Midas. Hope you have a pleasant evening. See you at school, Yuri. She smiles and then disappears into the darkness outside.